Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jordan from PictureMonk.com, and welcome to another episode of the PictureMonk MiMiC series, where I take just a random cool photo that I found online and try to sort of mimic, sort of copy the editing style of the photo. I'm doing this not to intrude on someone else's editing style, but just a way to kind of train yourself to see a photo and see the elements of that photo and know how to bring them out in editing. And so for this episode, I found this photo here online, just doing a random search, and it's from LoriCranePhotography.com. And I'm basically going to try to take this photo and sort of, as much as I can, try to mimic the photo editing style. So I got this photo right here I just took from a stock photography site. I try to find something with a field and the cool sky and a girl. So I kind of got all the elements there, and I'm going to see the best I can do for this. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do is kind of change up the white balance a little bit and do some really basic edits just to, kind of get it going the way I want it to get. So I'm going to bump down the tint a little bit and just still trying to match some of the color tones. That's the big key to this photo that it looks like. I'm going to crease the tint. I got the temp and the tint changed. Let's change the contrast, because there wasn't that much contrast in her photo. So let's take down the exposure. Well, let's bump up the exposure. How about that? Maybe right there. I'm trying to wash out some of these colors a little bit so we can bring more back in. Let's go up on the highlights, and I'm just guessing at some of this stuff right now. Let's go up. Shadows. You know what? Since I'm going to mess with the levels later, I'm going to go really crazy on the shadow just so I can see what I'm doing here. The whites, there really wasn't that many pure whites in the photo. Even in the sky over here in her original photo, there wasn't that much white space there. So blacks, I'm still trying to keep the contrast fairly low, so I'm going to leave the blacks the way they are. Clarity, I don't think I want to mess with that right now. I might keep it at 0 just for right now. The vibrance and the saturation, that's really going to help with the color tones. So I know I want to increase some of the vibrance to try to bring out some colors a little bit later. Try the saturation. I might leave the saturation where it is right now because it's starting to get a little too warm in spots. So let's change that. I think the tone curve is really going to help out with this one. So I might have to make a couple points on here just to bring out some stuff. So I'm going to start with my traditional little point right there. Let's move it down a little bit and start moving this up, because I want there was a little bit of fade in there, but not too much. Let's take this point. Just going to do that a little bit. See, it's starting to kind of match the low contrast look. That's why I didn't really mess with the contrast too much in the basic panel here. I'm going to leave that the way it is right now. I'll probably have to come back to it anyway. So let's go to the hue, saturation, and luminance. So let's see what we can get going here. Let's change... Well, let's go to hue first. Let's change a little bit of color, see what happens. This is mainly changing her shirt. Let's go right there. Just playing with the warmer colors on here just to see what I can get away with. So probably around there. I'm going to leave that for right now. Saturation, reds, they need to come up quite a bit, because I'm going to bring this set doesn't have that much red in it. It looks like it does, but it's going to really register as orange and yellow. So I'm going to bring the orange down and the yellow up. That's really hitting this part here. So Got a long way to go. Still not looking like it that much. So we're getting there though. Luminance, not going to change too much on that. Maybe, yeah, because that's really just hitting her shirt. If this was going to be a single edit where I didn't want it to be a global thing, I would not worry about her shirt and just mess with the outside and then take out all the detail in her shirt later. So, but this is going to be a global edit. So, and basically when I mean that, I'm just trying to edit the whole photo and not worry too much about local adjustments. I think I'm going to leave that there. The color is slowly getting there. Split toning, I think, will really help. So I really want to change the shadows. So I'm just going to, it's going to kind of be on a cooler side for the shadows. I know I want to keep the shadows cool. All right, that's kind of getting there. Kind of, sorta, not too crazy right now, but it's still getting there. Let's go ahead and do sharpening. The photo looks pretty sharp. It looks like it has a lot more sharpening that was done post. So I'm gonna get that up there a little bit, right around there. No noise reduction. That there wasn't really too many spots of that. I did notice that there was a vignette. Slight vignette. I don't know if it was post or if it was just done in camera, but I'm going to take the vignette in pretty good because I want to darken up some of these edges and just bring the attention to the subject here. Let's see. Let's go ahead. I do want to do one local adjustment to the sky. Kind of bring that down because I want to change this color to a little bit of warmer. Yeah, there we go. It's coming out now because that's where most of the color tones were in the original photo. Contrast in the sky, I'm definitely going to crank up. I think I like that. So yeah, let's go back to the basic panel and see what we can change still. Do I want to change the clarity? I'm gonna leave the clarity down just a little bit. I sharpened it so that'll help with it, but I don't want it to be too many. It wasn't like that, so I want to keep around there. Let's take the vibrance up again and just see. I think there we go. I think it's hitting it. The saturation and the vibrance. The saturation's more getting this part of it. And the vibrance is really getting the sky area. So, yeah, I think that's hitting it pretty good. Clarity, yeah, I did that. Yep. I'm thinking that's a pretty good way to stop it. I don't know if I want to go back to color or not. If I mess with the yellows too much, yeah, that's gonna hit that part. Let's go back to the oranges. Yeah, see, I want it to have a little bit of richness in the foreground. Yeah, I think that'll do. It's not spot on. It's going to be really hard to do spot on unless I'm taking the photo, exactly the same time as she did. And plus, I'm editing this in a JPEG file and not a RAW, so there's only so much I can bring out. But I think that actually works out pretty well. It's got the color tones in there. It's got the sharpness. It's got the vignette, and it's got the overall mood for the shot. So I think it worked out fairly well. Now that I say that, I do want to change one more thing. I want to take this and extend it a little bit so it kind of just covers a little more. Subtle change, but I kind of want to keep that there. So that's it, guys. I think that's a pretty good edit. Just like all the MiMiC series going forward, I'm going to give you a free Lightroom preset of this exact edit, so you can kind of get that effect yourself. If you followed along and did it yourself, great. But if you didn't follow along, there's always the free edit or the free preset that you can download. Just click on the link down in the description below. That'll take you to PictureMonk.com, and you can download the free Lightroom preset there and use it on all your photos. So thanks for joining me for this MiMiC series, and I'll see you guys in the next video.